This weekend, I had a kind of a strange thing happen. You know, I was kind of questioned on why I do authentic or what authentic is. And I just want to clear a lot of misconceptions up about what this is and what it's not. Authentic, when I came up with the idea, when God gave me the idea to put this out there, it was so that we would learn to be authentic with one another, that we would be able to talk about things and problems that we face every day that nobody likes to talk about. You know, because I deal with so many things internally, I'm able to talk to you about things I deal with, and hopefully it will help you to understand you're not alone. You're not the only one that struggles with some of this odd stuff, some of this stuff that the world doesn't want to talk about. And you know, I thought I made it pretty freaking clear. I mean, being real in an unreal world. See, what the world wants to tell you is keep your mouth shut. Wrap this up in some pretty little paper box with ribbons and everything else. And, you know, don't be honest. Essentially, don't be honest. Don't be honest about what you deal with, because it looks like, makes you look bad or makes you look crazy or makes you look this. You know what? I'm willing to accept that. I don't care. If you don't like me because I have OCD, then that's your problem, not my problem. You know, I'm not in your business, and I choose to put my business out there, and the reason I do it is so that there are people out there that are struggling every day. There are people out there who are hurting so bad. They just want to know that they belong somewhere, or that they need relevance. They need somebody to say, okay, what you're feeling is okay, and it's real, and here's how you deal with it. Because if we're not honest with each other, how do you ever get down to the nitty gritty? How do you ever get down and dirty and figure out how to fix stuff, figure out how to move forward with things? Because authentic is also about moving forward. It's not just a gripe session where you can sit here and say, oh, well, this happened to me and I'm mad now and I'm going to say this and I'm going to say, no, that's not what this is about. This isn't about some kind of little gripe, my little 8-minute gripe session. No, this is about learning to move forward and get through some of the things that we deal with in life that nobody's willing to talk about. And if that bothers you, then don't watch. Seriously. It's not for you. We got too many people who live in little boxes, little rosy boxes, and they never get out of it. And it's sad. It's really sad, because they lack understanding. And one of the things they lack is empathy and sympathy with other people. And that's the thing, you know, that's what you got to have in this world, is you got to understand that there are people going through a lot of crap right now that you don't even see. Things are going through their head that you may not even see, that they struggle with every day. So that's kind of like, you know, what authentic is. But let me share with you just a little bit about what OCD is, which is, it's called obsessive compulsive disorder. That's what it's called. Okay? I'm sorry that, you know, there's some folks who won't take the time to research, but if you go online, you can find thousands of articles about this, about every kind, because we are moving forward in the information stage of mental illness, but we're not moving forward in the understanding of it. Because honestly, I've lost jobs, I've lost friends, I've lost opportunities, because I'm an advocate for mental illness, because I'm willing to say, hey, this is what I struggle with, this is what I go through. And I've lost opportunities because of it. People call me crazy. People are like, oh, well, that makes you sound crazy. I'm not crazy. How am I crazy? You know, I mean, go back and look on my website and you can see the things that I've done in this life, even though I faced OCD. But instead of a hero, I'm a villain. Instead of somebody looking and saying, hey, this dude has gone through everything that life could throw at him, yet he's still standing. See, I didn't grow up the way some of you grew up. I didn't grow up in a perfect nuclear family like you did, or like some people did. Maybe you didn't. I'm hoping some of you watching didn't. Mom was 16, my dad was 19. We were poor. We were dirt road poor. You know, they didn't really know how to raise me. My dad beat the crap out of me half the time. and we have a relationship now, but that's still, those scars from all that time of abuse it's still there, and it affects me. I 8 years old, I had a babysitter sexually abuse me. But I'm not supposed to say that, because if I say that, then that makes me some kind of weirdo, some kind of freak, even though it's something somebody did to me. Well, let me tell you, I'm going to tell you what it is. Broke my back in high school. I've been through the crap, and I'm still standing today. I've been through the fire, and I'm still standing today. And you know what? That's what's important. It's not important what I have as far as a diagnosis, as far as mental illness. What's important is what I do after I have the diagnosis. What I do, because I know I have it. There are things I put in place in my life so that I can still be successful. But we talk about, in our world today, the whole thing of discrimination and all this kind of stuff is huge. This is a whole, but we don't realize, you know what, you discriminate every day against people with mental illness. You call them crazy. Less than 100 years ago, probably more like 50 or 60 years ago, people like me, you know what y'all did with them? Y'all threw them into institutions and locked them up. Locked them up. You didn't help them. You locked them up in these places way up off in the hills somewhere, and basically did experiments on people. How is that right? How is that any different than how you treat somebody of a different skin color? How is that any different than how you treat somebody with a different belief system than you? It's not different. See, the point is, we need to be educated in America that any type of discrimination is wrong. We need to start understanding things before we comment. I'm sorry about to drop the F-bomb there. But before we comment on stuff, we need to go ahead and do our research. For example, let me just give you a small example of what I've experienced in life. I was a youth pastor. I went through a series of depression dealing with my OCD while I was in this staff position. So I came out with it. I said, hey, look, I'm just going to share with people, because I know some of my kids are probably struggling with this. I know some of my young people are struggling with it. Maybe even some of our church members are struggling with it. So I come out and say, hey, I have OCD. I have depression. These are things I struggle with in my life, but I'm working through them, and God is allowing me to become a better person through them. Well, then I had a theological disagreement with the senior pastor at this church. And I had 3 deacons come up to me and say, well, we think that this is probably your mental illness that you talked about. This is why you're doing this. So now all of a sudden, if I disagree with you, it's my mental illness. If I choose to take a stand on something, now it's my mental illness. See, and that's the problem. That's the problem that we're all dealing with right now. We're dealing with the fact that, you share something, people are going to use it against you. And that's fine. Because you know what? I'm going to be successful no matter what you do to me. I'm going to keep pushing forward no matter what you do to me. But I am going to educate you on the fact that you're wrong. That you're dead wrong. If you think that I'm some kind of monster, that I'm some kind of crazy person or whatever, fine. I don't care what you think, but you're not going to treat me any different. You're not going to discriminate against me. You see, that's why you say, why do you do authentic? Why are you doing this? That's why I'm doing it. Because there's too many people that have had a perfect life, that have all the money, all their needs met, that have no concept of what the regular world, what a regular person goes through, the stress, the tension, the even mental illness that somebody goes through. And I've been flashing stats underneath this whole time I've been talking. You see that there's a problem in America. But this problem doesn't get national attention. We need to start educating people on what mental illness is, and that there are millions of Americans who struggle with it every day. If you had never struggled with it, praise God. Praise God that you have not had to deal with that. But that doesn't give you, you're not better than me. You're not better than somebody else because you never went through it. Maybe things went well in your life and you don't have those things that lead to it. And that's fine. Okay? Consider yourself blessed. But educate yourself. Educate yourself before you open your mouth. Educate yourself before you discriminate against somebody else. Educate yourself before you judge another person. So authentic, I'm not changing. You know, I prayed about it, I thought about it. I'm not going to change what I do. This is my mission. This is my vision. My purpose on this earth is to help other people. My purpose on this earth is to educate other people and hopefully lead other people to love people more, to understand people more. So I'm not changing. This is authentic. This is what it is. If you choose not to ever watch it again, fine. I didn't make it for you. I didn't make it for somebody who wants to judge somebody else. I made it because I want to help other people. I want people to know you're not alone. So it's time we step up and start being authentic. It's time we are real in an unreal world.